Okay, so I'm going to walk you guys through building a micro SaaS lead magnet using Google Studio. So the thing with Google is if you're targeting local service-based businesses, Google's automatically by default integrated with the Google Search API, Google Places API. And so your ability to streamline the process of, aggregating and triangulating local service-based business information is literally, I built this in one prompt. And before I show you how to do it, first of all, my students are the ones who are building Google Solar API lead magnets to go on people's websites for instant quotes. They're building, different audit slash, lost revenue based Google Places API lead magnets, and they're building this for cold email. And so if you're looking to pattern disrupt your cold audiences with offers that solve a problem and provide value, vibe coding. Like I did this in literally 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So like your ability to prove concept and create something that is useful and value based, Google Studio, create anything, lovable, whatever it is you want to use. Barrier of entry, if you're targeting local service-based businesses and you want to use local Google data, you're probably going to want to go with Google Studio. And so right here, all I did is right here, I put in a business and I'm going to show it to you up here too. So I'm going to go backwards, preferred roofing. As you can see here, it says 48 reviews, 4.9. We're going to go here and do preferred roofing, Las Vegas, Nevada, analyze market. And this is all done by just one prompt, guys. So I want to show you the outputs first before I show you how simple the inputs are. Like vibe coding is so easy, anyone can do it. And so look at this, boom, 4.9, 48 reviews, okay? So it's the exact same company, exact same data, okay? And then you can see here you got competitors. So because it has the Google Places API, it can pull real-time data. And so now we can do a competitor analysis as well. And so just to keep this simple, obviously this is the part where you would change the data, the questions you have them ask, and then whatever the output is going to be. Missed call text back. Do you automatically text customers who call when you don't answer? This one will say no. Review automation. Do you use software to automatically request reviews via SMS or email? No. Do you have an AI or human service answering calls 24/7? So for this, we're just going to say no. And then how fast do you reply to Google reviews? Days, weeks, under 24 hours, instant auto. And so we're just going to keep everything the worst. Calculate. And so this isn't necessarily like a finished end result. This is just to show you that literally one prompt created this, guys. One single prompt. It's pulling real-time data, and then AI can take that data and it can frame it however it is that you want. You can ask whatever questions you want, whatever your objection is, whatever you're trying to sell, whatever problem you're helping them assess, you can do it with literally one prompt. And so you can see here, it's got a rating, it's got competitor breakdown benchmarks, it's got executive summary, and then it's got an AI revenue recovery plan. So, and then at the bottom, it has a booking link, okay? So this is just an example of a very basic lead magnet that provides insights at the click of a button instead of them having to manually research, pull out a calculator, and do 10 other different things, okay? And then print PDF, book strategy call. And so for you to do this, guys, this is the prompt right here. We're gonna go build this in real time. This is all I typed. It was a bunch of garbage. Just puked a bunch of stuff that I wanted just to see if this would work and to validate the concept. And then boom, we have this fully working API-driven lead magnet. And so leading with this, it's interactive, something that gives actual analysis and strategy for that company based on where they're at. You're going to hit a lot different than some, ebook that's static, doesn't change. It doesn't actually, speak to the company where it's at and where its market is at. And so I'm just saying, if you're able to pull the competitors, you can instruct this to pull specific data points from the competitors to then, emphasize a specific problem. And so this isn't as complex as you could go, but for one prompt, using Google, which has the APIs built into the Google Studio. That's pretty robust. So we're gonna go back to here, and maybe we'll add a few different things here. So we'll go right to here, paste that, make sure we are pulling real-time data. So look, listen guys, I'm just gonna read this out loud so you realize how simple, dumb, and easy this is. You're tasked with creating a local Google Business Scorecard for local businesses. Maybe you want something different. Get the point. You'll be paying attention to their average between reviews and ratings and converting that to lost revenue based on competitor analysis gaps between their local business data. The user inputs our business, we find their top competitors, we ask them questions about whether they have automated tech specs and review management and other HighLevel.com features important to ranking to assess how we can use AI to recoup lost revenue in their markets. So that's a variable, guys. You can change that out and put whatever it is you want. We need a scaling and scoring system and a questionnaire used to create results that is simple yet effective. We want to use voice AI especially for after-hour scheduling when nobody is working, review management for rankings and perception, etc. The report should be shareable and downloadable and have a link to our calendar. The report needs to help them visualize their market, where they're at, and what opportunities are available to them based on questions and pulled data to create more revenue with AI. Make sure we are pulling real-time data. And so that last one, we'll just make sure it's connected to the right API source. And so Google Search is going to be different than Google Places. So just an important thing to understand. And so this right here is all variables. It's just the concept of telling it what you want, what kind of questions matter, what kinds of gaps you want to identify, and then how that all correlates with their market. So you put anything in here. And so we'll do, and then add it right here, we'll say use Google Places API for best data source, and if necessary, pull data from any Google API you deem necessary. So I'm a big proponent of let AI do as much of the deciding as possible. Tends to do a better job, creates better prompts than UI ever could manually. And then right now we're going to let it build this out. And then see how here as it's building it out, it's analyzing errors and stuff. So there may be errors when you operate it, but as it's building, it's going to assess those errors as well. Okay, so here's what it whipped up, guys. So enter your business name. And this one's a little bit different than the last one, guys. So every time you do this, it'll be different in a sense, but the same output. So that's where you can clarify and get specific about what you want. And so this one asks for the average customer value. So that way it can more accurately, calculate that lost revenue. And so we put that in as about 25,000. Do missed calls, text back, do you text back missed calls automatically? Yes, I do. Do you use voice AI for after hours? No. Do you run database reactivation campaigns? No. Do you automate review responses? No. Now it's analyzing, it's pulling up the data. So you can see here now this is the result right here. Estimated 100,000 overall readiness. It goes through their gaps. AI consultancy summary with strengths and weaknesses. And then it shows their opportunity losses right here. High impact, medium impact. But once again, this isn't definitive. This is your first draft. This was done in 5 minutes. It only took 5 minutes to do this so far on this video. Okay, that's how fast you can just whip up a draft concept to then optimize and identify adjustments you want to make. And so the next prompt that we make is make sure our scorecard and results are actionable, help identify their losses, and position them against their competitors as to why they aren't winning in their market, such as reviews are correlated to the MAP 3 pack, and emphasize nobody cares about companies outside the MAP 3 pack or on page 2 or 3 of Google. And all of these position them as the go-to. Analyze the most effective manner of this positioning. Also identify the location to make sure we have the right area. So last time I had to put both of those in the same input, and I didn't like that. I felt there was just too much room for error. And make it separate from the business name. So let's keep them in separate inputs. And then verify their business after they input and press next. So like in the original one I showed you, see how these both came out differently? That's what AI is going to do. Especially since we weren't like super specific, we kind of gave it the range to kind of solve the problem as it best saw fit. We're going to get variations in our outputs. And so because I saw what that last one had, I'm like, make sure we have that in this one too, because it just removed the room for error. So the margin for error is less by validating the business like we did on that original one, and then having the location and the business name in separate inputs. And then I gave instructions on how to further optimize the results. And then see on this now, it says, are you invisible on page 2 of Google? So we'll use the same one, referred roofing. Right here, we'll go Las Vegas, Nevada, scan business. 70% of local clicks go to the map 3-pack. So it's throwing these little things in there. Preferred roofing, 48 reviews, 4.9 stars. So it's pulling straight from the Google Places API. 7255 West Sunset Road, Las Vegas. Boom, that's it. Yes, it says my business. So now we have removed all margin of error, so it can't pull the wrong business. Now we're going back to those same ones. And so this is where you have to iterate. Do I want these questions? Are there other questions that I want to have added? Are there other ways, like maybe you want to ask them how many jobs they get on average a month to help kind of calculate that cost a little bit more granularly. If that's even the right word to use. But right here, I'll say 25,000. Do you text back missed calls automatically? No, not yet. Do you use voice AI for after hours? No, not yet. Do you run database reactivation campaigns? No, not yet. Do you automate review responses? I'll put no, not yet. And so now we're going to see a different results page we saw the first time, because in that second prompt, we gave it new instructions on how we wanted that last page to present the data and position it and leverage our call to action. And so as you can see now, don't stay on page 2. And it's like we can install these AI systems in your business in less than 7 days to help you climb the rankings. So obviously these aren't like necessarily like your definitive outputs. All this can be changed, but you just start with the draft concept, prove concept, and then iterate from there for your specific leverage. So this is just an idea to get your juices flowing on how easy. Like the first draft was less than 5 minutes. I mean, I'm just saying it doesn't get any simpler than that. And then from there you can put in like webhooks, doing all these different things. Like I'm just saying like this is your draft concept. And so map pack authority score 20, monthly revenue at risk. This one it says 840,000. Competitor reviews 264. So their local leader has 264. They're only at like 48. Missed call text back, critical and missing. Review automation, missing. Why you aren't in the map pack. And it's just giving them some insights. So this is super basic, guys, and I'm not like trying to go super complex with this, because once you have this foundation, you can build anything. Just add it in. If you want to push this data and every submission into your HighLevel, give it a webhook. Go create an automation flow in HighLevel, get your inbound webhook URL, and then just push it into here and say, hey, I want every submission to push to this webhook, so you have their data. And that happens on the back end, so they don't even know that you're doing it, type of a thing. So that way you can calculate who's using it. Maybe you're pulling their scores. So now you're having this app take the results and the metadata from its results that it's created this last page with, and you turn that into like a JSON output. So when it hits your HighLevel, you also have maybe a copy of this, you have different data points, you understand their business a little bit more. And from there, you can build other, qualification automations to get more information on the company. So I don't know what your tech stack is. The whole purpose of this video is just to show you how quick and easy it is to build something that, creates some sort of clarity, some sort of awareness, some sort of next steps. So how you position this, how you package it, you can take the same thing, package it 100 different ways. Maybe you're not focusing on everything, you're focusing on one specific problem. But if you have access to that Google Places API and Google Search API, I mean, creativity is your only limitation. So at this point, what can you vibe code? What is possible? One of my students literally just built a Google Solar API you install on his prospects' websites. It uses the Google Solar API to triangulate and give an estimate for roofing jobs. And he literally just used AI, and he just used API keys from Google. Okay, and so now his cold offer is reaching out to these roofing companies to be able to offer, free roofing instant estimates. And so that's his new offer. And that's how he's going to be generating leads from cold email. And it only takes him 5 minutes to install it. He gets a phone call from them. He's obviously going to target which roofing companies he's even making this offer to, so he can have a value ladder and a problem-solving upsell from there. Because once you installed the instant quote, well, now you need to run ads to it. Now you need traffic to it. Now you need reactivation campaigns. I'm just saying, it opens up a whole slew of reasons to pull other levers. And so there's no one way, there's 100 ways. There's no right or wrong way. Really, right now, it's how can you be different? How can you package things different? How can you be creative? So I hope this helps you understand where you can start, your next steps. And it only took us 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes to get that draft proof of concept. And then from here, you just keep adding, subtracting, re-optimizing. This is a pretty simple, results page. So since you obviously have an understanding of how you help your prospects and your clients and the gaps that you see and the things that matter to them, make this relevant to them. And so go and try this out. Google Studio, it's completely free. I'm just saying, it's completely free with API access. You're not going to be having thousands of businesses running this a day, so you're not going to overuse that rate limit on your API key. So you could literally get a real-time database lead magnet out into the market, offering it to people, getting people into your funnel in literally less than 24 hours. And so the sooner you go try this, the faster you get results. Down below in this video, there's going to be some links if you want to jump into some of our resources, get more resources, and really learn the strategies that are working in 2026 with cold outreach. So God bless.